This one's a pretty big one, I think. This is from Napster. He says, fun fact, the Dead Chain Diaries was think tanked after watching an episode of, well, that's me, BC. Guess what? They didn't. Why won't Arrington Capital release Algo Foundation from NDA? So I got some more Algorand news for you. This one's a pretty big one, I think. This is from Napster. You guys remember Napster? So interesting enough, Napster and LimeWire, which are both like Web 1 peer-to-peer services that kind of popped up. You know Napster. Napster was like famous for getting every musician on the planet upset about them. Well, they're launching something big on the Algorand blockchain. So, well, let's just pop into this. Let's see what's going on. This is from MJ. You know, MJ, big friend of the channel, really great bringing Algorand stuff. Anyway, says, I'm already a paid subscriber to Napster. Glad to see they're partnered with Algorand, future of music, Algo. What's he talking about? Well, Napster 3.0 is coming. Can you feel it? We're talking about one of the biggest RWA projects in the music industry, which will be launched on Algorand. Imagine an NFT marketplace accessible to Napster's 5 million paying subscribers, where they can easily buy and resell collectibles from their favorite artists. And all on the zombie chain, guys. All on this zombie chain that nobody is using. Remember how many transactions did we say earlier? Millions of transactions, but you know, zombie chain, no one's using it. Moreover, all holders of the Napster token. Oh, I got to show you something about the zombie chain. In fact, you know what? We're going to look at that now. Hold on a second. I got to show you guys this because this is so cool. Nope, not that one. I got to show you guys this. Is it on? Yeah. Oh, not that one. That one's cool too, though. This is from MacGyver. He's a regular viewer of the channel. Look, so this is he created this. This looks very this makes me think of like an NES, like a cutscene, which I love. Maybe a Super NES. That's so cool. He says, fun fact, the Dead Chain Diaries was think tanked after watching an episode of, well, that's me, BC. His reply to a person calling Algo a dead chain made me wonder what a dead block would look like and how it can thrive even when others don't understand it or how to read data. So I inspired this whole series. That's really, really cool. And actually, I like it too. I like the little piggy and the running away and the Jason. Like this looks like if they made Freddy Krueger the Super NES game. I love games from NES and Super NES era. I think it's the best. I personally love that stuff. I'll play retro style games all day. I love them. Maybe I'll do a stream where I play some current blockchain games and then switch over to NES games or something. Okay, so I just wanted to share that. Let's go back. Okay, so let's go back to Imagine NFT Marketplace, accessible to Napster's 5 million paying subscribers, where they can easily buy and resell collectibles from their favorite artists. Moreover, all holders of Napster token, fans, artists, right holders, etc., issued on Algo, will collectively form and govern the Napster network as a DAO. That's kind of cool. Normally, I'm not a big fan of every project needing to have a token, but if it makes sense if it's like for governance sake, which Tiny Man is doing too, and I'm really excited about that. It says, how can that not be exciting? Well, I agree. Why did Napster choose Algorand? Highly scalable, low fees, instant transaction finality, forkless, green. From their white paper published on the Napster Foundation website, you can read, another important feature of Algorand is its inability to fork. Remember we talked about how that's a big deal? Remember how we talked about that? If a blockchain forks, it creates a mirror chain with duplicate assets. While forks may be beneficial for NFT or for holders of fungible tokens, it would entirely defeat the purpose. We're still making noise, right? Okay. It would entirely defeat the purpose, where was I? Of NFTs, uniqueness and verifiable ownership. Algorand's consensus protocol and immediate transaction finality make certain the chain will not fork and will not duplicate digital assets. Yes, we haven't had much information for a while, but Napster hasn't stopped hiring over the last few months. In the latest job postings visible on the Algorand Foundation website, there's always a mention of Web3 products and services. MJ says, I can feel it in my bones. Well, Sir Barkalot says, misleading to say it chose really, when it's co-owned by the foundation. Also, Napster dialed back their Web3 initiative because of a backlash of its user base. No wonder, considering the Ponzi's fraud going on in crypto. Typical users have no interest, at least right now. Alex says, Napster is not co-owned by the foundation. It was Algorand, former Inc., a private company, which was involved in this deal. Napster dialed back their Web3 initiative. Source? They've been hiring for Web3 profiles for months now, and no response. Yeah, so this kind of stuff is really exciting to me. You know, again, so much activity for a zombie. There's so much news to report for a zombie chain, isn't there? So much news to report. It's wild. I mean, it just cracks me up. Like, I get it, you know. Do we wish the price was better? Yes, of course we do. It's a little bit more. I've got a few more things, and then we'll actually one more thing, then we'll get to some live chats. And this is just a quick little tidbit from Arrington Capital. You remember this whole thing where Arrington Capital totally punted on totally muffed the ball on putting together this algo fund. Like they had all this investment from Algorand into this fund, and then just did nothing with it. And claimed some malfeasance by the foundation's part, but then the foundation said, cool, release us from the NDA and we'll talk about it. Well, guess what? They didn't. Why won't Arrington Cap release Algo Foundation from NDA? For those who aren't aware, a large part of, let's go to this. How and why is Algorand Foundation not suing Arrington into the ground? For those who aren't aware, a large part of why Algorand price is so low right now is that Algo's largest VC investor, Arrington, literally market dumped in late 2023 all the hundreds of millions of Algorand that the foundation had given them years prior. Arrington was behind the Rand Labs 2, which made my algo wallet, which got hacked and tanked the public's trust in algo and utterly crushed the price. Yeah, we covered the my algo wallet hack pretty extensively. Frankly, more extensively than any other channel. I mean, we were all over it. I made 3 videos back to back because it was a big deal. And I had people try to tell me it wouldn't be a big deal. I'm like, it wasn't the exodus I expected, but it definitely sent people away. Following the hack, my algo Arrington doubled up on the destruction with the aforementioned market dumping of literally hundreds of millions of Algorand. Michael Arrington has in more ways than one harmed Algorand and everyone in this community and all of us holding it. He has a large responsibility, if not sole responsibility, for algo being in the dumps. He has done basically nothing positive for us, just harm and destruction. I don't get how or why the foundation isn't suing Arrington Cap into the dirt and recovering the funds they stole. Actually, I'm not sure because the thing is, we don't know what the original deal of the terms of the deal were, and I think I pointed it out before. I'll point it out again. I did get a pretty substantial amount of Nico from the founder of Realms, and I probably should disclose that at the earlier point. Apologies for that, but I've said this pretty much every time I've made a video on them. And, I gave a gentleman's agreement that I wouldn't sell it. And honestly, it probably wouldn't have a huge impact if I did, but I made that agreement and I said I would, so I'll hold to it. But yeah, if you didn't have, if that wasn't spelled out in the agreement, then that's probably kind of on the foundation's part. And, they might've been really, really excited to get this deal done. So they didn't. The fact is, we don't know a lot about the terms of the deal. And we don't know we're not going to know a lot because that NDA is still in place. My thought is probably it doesn't look good for Arrington because otherwise they'd be happy to release the NDA if it made them look good. So that's my thought, but hard to know for sure. Fantastic Mr. Spock says, I want to know how much money he put in, how much he got out. Well, I think the foundation put up, was it 50 million algo? Or it was half of 50 million, but I think they put in the other half. I don't remember exactly how that worked. But yeah, they backed out. So I don't necessarily know if the timeline is 100% correct on here. I haven't verified it, but I didn't know they were behind Rand Labs too. And Rand Labs got a lot of money from the foundation. I think they were one of the top receivers of the old grant system. Anyway, that's the Algorand news. Let's get to chat because we got a lot of them. Wow. Oh, Average Zen is here. Welcome to the channel, Average Zen. You can log into the Gov page and select Gov sessions, and it will tell you why if you became ineligible. I didn't remember seeing anything, but Average says he still votes on folks. Pat says it was under 500 when he came across the channel and subscribed. So that is an OG right there. Pat, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate everybody. To be clear, everybody subscribed and got us to 4,000. Like I said, we're trying to get to 5,000. So if you haven't already subscribed, I appreciate if you do so. Pat's taking folks finance. Pat says I need an app just to manage all these crypto wallets. It gets a lot sometimes. Average Zen, big fan of DeFi. Me too. Well, I'm really looking forward to the web app. I think that's a good thing.